Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out. Welcome to The Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
That would be me, and I didn't even say bam yet. Anyway, I am just going to just believe that I can be heard at this moment because I am doing something that I probably shouldn't be doing, but I take healthy and calculated risks, and this is another one of those. Welcome to the swimming pool, SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. I am definitely in travel mode. I am in the aeropuerto as we speak, and I am on the move. That's what this is entitled. I do have a guest, and I only have a short time with that guest, so my intro is not going to be much at all. As a matter of fact, it's going to be rather quick because I have a couple of things I want to discuss and talk about. So if you're joining me live and you can hear me, just sitting and just say you can, and that'll at least give me a little more confidence. A couple of things I want to talk about. I've been in travel for the last 10, 12, 13 days, and whenever I can change my flight to get away early, I try to do that. Unfortunately, something opened up in first class, and guess what I did? I took it, so I am on the move. And I'm going to bring my guests on in a few minutes, and I didn't plan like I always don't plan, but when it's on your heart, you just got to let it out. And I have a feeling I'm going to probably do another one of these once I get where I'm going, if not today, tomorrow, or somewhere, because there's a lot I want to talk about, and this is therapy for me. So as much as I wish I could afford to just sit in front of a therapist all day and counselors and let them instruct, direct, and just point me, I just can't do that. Sometimes I just have to encourage myself, just me and the Lord, and this is another one of those times. Just so happened I'm doing it live and you get to participate. I have a guest, and my guest is there. Are you with me? Can you hear me? Oh God, really?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
How are you?
How did I know you were not going to be paying attention?
I was paying attention.
Of course you were. Anyway, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well, and how are you?
Not bad at all. As you heard just now, I'm in travel mode, and I made it through security and TSA and all of them. And I got a little attitude from the lady. You know, I'm traveling. I have my horn with me, and they wanted to flag my horn and check it. I don't have a problem with that, but I want to be close by when they do that. So the lady had my horn, and she was about to open it upside down, and I saw that, and I'm like, she can't do that. So I walked over calmly, and I said, ma'am, if you open it that way, you're going to damage a $5,000 instrument. And she gave me these eyes that if looks could kill, I would be in the ground already. And she said, I ain't even doing nothing. I said, okay, ma'am, I just wanted you to know. Well, I haven't done anything. I said, I was just letting you know in advance. And I said to myself, why is this happening to me? I did nothing wrong. I meant no harm. All I wanted the lady to do was to not open my $5,000 favorite instrument upside down, because then you know what she would say. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, yes.
But I'm sorry is not going to give me back. I've had that horn for 20 years, And I wouldn't even take 5 grand for it. But anyway, that's how it started out. Not to mention the boot that was on my vehicle the other day, which is another morning start that I want to discuss with you. And I realize how much time I have. I have about 6 minutes with you, and I'm going to be gone in probably 10 or 12 minutes. But I want to tell you about the boot on my vehicle. I went out and my vehicle was booted. I couldn't go. I had planned to meet my buddy. We were going to walk the 17th Street Causeway Bridge. And you know me, I like to be on time. So I went out and I couldn't move. And I had to say woofsaw and be quiet. But in addition to everything else that I received while on this, this trip, this journey rather, I had to look at everything as a message. And I realized that I could not move at that time and get where I was going. I had some processes and some procedures to go through because I knew my vehicle was registered. I knew I was in the right. And sure enough, we found out what the problem was. And in less than an hour, I was on my way. And fortunately, and hopefully I won't have to pay once it gets investigated. But for that moment, I had an opportunity to be rightfully PO'd. I'm gonna try to be nice on this family program. I was not happy, but when I thought about it, I was delayed, but I wasn't denied. And when the guy came to boot, that's when things get escalated. People get upset when they get towed and booted and stuff for no reason. So I was really nice to the guy. He was glad that I was nice. In a few short minutes, I was on my way. But I wanted to share that with you to just encourage myself as well as any of my listeners that just because we have a hurdle, just because things don't look the way we want them to look and they don't feel the way we want them to feel, who knows? I could have been protected from something, an accident maybe. But I had to be calm, I had to be cool, I had to follow the procedures because they stuck this thing on my window. I was mad about that. But I had to call the number, I had to talk to the people, and I had to do what was necessary to get my vehicle freed, and I actually made it. I met my buddy and we did the walk and got my exercise in for the morning, and it was cool. So anyway, can you at least relate and agree that delayed doesn't mean denied?
Yes, I can relate and I can agree. A lot of times we are kept from different things that would cause us harm or put us in harm's way at the wrong time. And those are the little things that God uses sometimes to make sure we're safe. And I know sometimes it's upsetting because at the time it doesn't feel good. But if we just take a breath and analyze the situation and just say, okay, Lord, what am I missing or what are you keeping me from? I guarantee you we will find our answer if we just calm. But being irate and upset, we'll miss so many things, so many cues that God has given us. And a lot of times we ask for leadership and direction from Him, and He sends direction and guidance through little mishaps like that. So a lot of times it's good for us to just sit back, take a breath, and just let the process go through, and then we'll be fine at the end.
And that's exactly what I did. I was cool, I was calm, and I was on my way. A couple of topics I want to get your feedback on. One in particular, doing the right thing or too much of the right thing. Can you agree or see how it relates to how that can be as bad as doing the wrong thing? Too much of the right thing. Does it make sense? Or am I alone on this?
Yes. No, you're not a loner. Too much of the right thing with the wrong person or the wrong motive sometimes, yes. It could be more damaging than we would like because we're doing our best to do the best thing, but a lot of times it doesn't come out that way. So yes, I do relate and I understand.
And I had something else I wanted to discuss before you go, and I can't find it, so I'm fumbling right now. Here's another. Okay, so you agree with that? Too much, you can put the right seed in the wrong soil, or invest in the wrong investment, and or too much of the right thing is as bad as doing the right thing. I heard one of my preacher friends a few years ago. He said, You know, not making a decision is as bad as making the wrong decision. So that also applies. And I just looked at my notes. Oh, talking about healing. You know, when we go through things and we're being taught lessons and we're being created, or what do you call it? We're being built. What is the word I'm looking for? When we're being prepared, we're being tried by the fire, for lack of a better word. It doesn't feel good. And when we go through something and it doesn't feel good, we call that pain, hurt, or suffering. And there's nothing wrong with suffering if you're suffering for the right reason. I wanted to ask your response to healing. I think we should stop saying that. You need to heal before you do this, or you need to heal before you do that. Of course, healing is a natural process, I believe. The body, kind of sort of heals itself, in its own way, through fasting even. And, if we break a bone, if we set it back properly, it will heal on its own. I think as much as we need to heal, we need to realize that our mind and ourselves, we just need to get stronger instead of talking about healing so much. I don't want to get lost for words, but I kind of want your input on that, in that healing is overrated. Us getting stronger is, more, I don't know, it just makes more sense to say that than to talk about healing. Healing happens on its own, but we can strengthen ourselves if we take sometimes the right attitude and do the right thing. So your thoughts?
Correct. There is a portion of healing, I feel, that needs to take place before we can even be strengthened. Because if you take, say, like a broke leg or whatever, before you can stand on that broken leg, it's got to have a portion of healing before it's strengthened. And I feel like being strengthened is a part of healing. So if I'm making sense, you're correct in what you're saying about being strengthened, but there is a portion of healing that needs to take place even in the strengthening part.
I agree. And as much as I'd love to keep you more, I promised I would let you go. And I'm almost a few seconds late. So I'm going to let you go. And I said, there's no way I'm going to get this done. But I didn't want to get on the flight without closing out this part of this season, of this trip. And thank you for joining me. Maybe in the next day or so, we can come back and talk some more. But go on, do your thing,
right.
And I'll catch you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Take care. Ciao.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay, there you have it. I'm here just because I haven't been here in a long time, and I need this level of therapy. And I have so many things on my heart and on my mind that I want to share. And because I've been traveling lately, I haven't been able to get here. But my travel was a complete and total success. Slightly distracted in some ways, but I was able to accomplish all the goals and then some that I set out to do. I was able to see my family and see my grandchildren. That was wonderful. And I was able to, even get a flight out earlier. And I've got some hellos there. Thanks to everybody who's joining me and who will watch this later. Again, this is SWIM. It's WYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. I'm Travis Bridges, and I'm going to go. But I do want to leave myself and you with this thought. As I walked out to my vehicle and I saw that I was restrained, I couldn't move. I didn't like that. I didn't know why, and I didn't understand why. But it was one of many signs that I received while I was on this journey in terms of dealing with, what's been happening in my own personal adventures. But you might be facing something yourself that doesn't look good or feel good. There's a process and a procedure that needs to happen in order for you to be able to move on. And if you don't do the right thing or have the right attitude, you could be stranded even longer. Because if I had started fussing and cussing and acting crazy and treated the tow truck guy bad, I may not have gotten what I got, which was likely, a refund on what it cost, and not being able to figure out where the problem was, because I was complying with where I had parked my vehicle. It was just a misunderstanding. But I believe it was my attitude and my willingness to take advantage of cooperating with the process that got me to my appointment on time and, just relieved me of that moment that I was inconvenienced. So with that being said, here's hoping that regardless of how your day is starting, your week is starting, that you will take the right attitude and understand that there's a process and there's a procedure. Two wrongs definitely don't make a right. And if you find yourself, in a tough situation, chill, relax. Just know that every delay is not a deny. And just because it doesn't look or feel good doesn't mean that it's not good. And most importantly and finally, when your heart is good and your heart is right and your intentions are pure, it doesn't matter what you face, because your attitude will get you through any and every situation. With that being said, find someone you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, show it, mean it, let it be true. And even if it's not received, continue to follow your heart, do what's right, do what's good, do what's best, and be willing to cooperate. That's the word for the day. Till the next time, take good care of yourself. I'll see you later.
SWYN. Say what you mean. As much as this information is designed to bring awareness to how we listen, hear, and process, it is also a form of therapy. The little person inside of all of us needs to be heard. As adults, even listening to ourselves is a form of healing, strengthening, and growth. It's okay to speak, talk, express yourself, and be heard, even if you're the only listener. If our testimony does anything at all for anyone else, that makes the continued effort worth the time. Get the words out. You'll feel better, and that's a promise. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Sometimes it seems like all the good times are gone, but you got to keep on searching. You got to keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on. For example, take me, stand right here today. I would not be here with you if I believe the things that the people say. You got to keep on searching. Keep on searching. Keep on going. Keep on going.
I meant to actually load this song up that I want to play like now. It's a song that's ministering to me in this season, but I'm going to put the link in as soon as I log off. I'm going to put the link in so you can check it out. Okay? It's Timothy, gosh, how did I just forget his name? Timothy Wright. I'm so glad. Trouble don't last always. Anyway, click on that and listen to it and be blessed. Have a good day, okay? All right. Ciao.